October 17, 2019, Culiacan, Mexico. It was supposed to be a routine arrest. The Mexican National Guard had surrounded a house containing Ovidio Guzman, the son of El Chapo. But within minutes, the hunters became the hunted. Something terrifying happened. The cartel didn't just fight back with pistols, they rolled out homemade tanks. They set up mounted machine guns on pickup trucks. They blocked bridges with burning buses. And they unleashed a weapon that changed everything, the Barrett M82. A sniper rifle that can punch through armored vehicles from a mile away. By the end of the day, the Mexican government surrendered. They released Ovidio to stop the slaughter. The question everyone asked was not, how did the cartel win? The question was, where did a criminal gang get an arsenal powerful enough to defeat a G20 army? The answer lies 600 miles north. In the parking lots of Arizona and Texas. Welcome to the Iron River. Here is a statistical impossibility. In the entire country of Mexico, a nation of 129 million people, there is only one legal gun store. 1. It is called the DCAM. It sits on a heavily guarded military base in Mexico City. To buy a gun there, you need months of background checks, fingerprints, proofs of employment. Even then, you can mostly only buy small caliber hunting rifles. Yet, between 2009 and 2019, over 2 million firearms flooded into Mexico illegally. 70% of the weapons seized at crime scenes in Mexico are traced back to a single source, the United States of America. This is not a trickle, it is a flood. A flood of steel flowing south, while a flood of cash flows north. Let's talk about the hardware. The cartels don't want just any gun, they are brand loyal. Their favorite tool is the Barrett .50 caliber. In the gun world, this is a titan. It was designed to disable tank engines. In the US, it is sold to civilians for long-range target shooting. Cost? About $10,000. In Texas, you can buy one with a simple driver's license. But the moment that rifle crosses the Rio Grande, its value skyrockets. Economics 101, supply and demand. In Sinaloa, that same rifle sells for $50,000. That is a 400% profit margin. Better than real estate, better than gold, better than tech stocks. And unlike drugs, guns don't expire. A rifle sold today will still be killing people in 50 years. So, how do you move an army's worth of weapons across the most watched border on Earth? You don't use tunnels, you use straw purchasers. The cartel does not send a hitman to the gun show. They find someone you would never suspect. A single mother struggling to pay rent. A college student with tuition debt. An elderly man with a clean record. The deal is simple, here is $10,000 cash. Buy this list of rifles. Keep $500 for yourself. The purchaser walks into a licensed dealer. They fill out ATF Form 4473. Question 21. Asks, are you the actual buyer? They check yes. Technically, this checkmark is a federal crime. Practically, it is rarely prosecuted. Once the gun is bought, it is handed off in a parking lot. Then passed to a broker. Then to a mule. By the time the straw purchaser is home counting their $500, that rifle is already wrapped in plastic. hidden inside the door panel of a Ford F-150, heading south. But straw purchasers are not the only way. There is a bigger hole in the net. It is called the gun show loophole. Here is how federal law works. If you buy a gun from a licensed store, the government knows who you are. They run your name, your ID, your criminal history. But in many states, like Texas or Arizona, if you buy a gun from a private collector at a gun show, or from a stranger on the internet, no background check is required. No paperwork. No paper trail. You hand over the cash, they hand over the military-grade rifle. It is as easy as buying a used bicycle. The cartels exploit this ruthlessly. They scour online forums and gun shows, buying weapons in bulk from private sellers who ask no questions. This is the blind spot of the American legal system. It is a ghost transaction, untraceable, until the moment the trigger is pulled south of the border. This logistics network is brilliant, because it is decentralized. We call it the ant trade. Imagine a stream of ants carrying crumbs. If you step on one ant, the colony doesn't starve. The cartels don't load 5,000 guns onto one big truck. That's too risky. If that truck gets caught, they lose millions. Instead, they send 5,000 cars. Each car carries only 2 or 3 guns. Maybe a few boxes of ammunition hidden in the spare tire. Every day, hundreds of thousands of vehicles cross from the US into Mexico. Customs agents are looking for drugs coming in, not guns going out. They scan maybe 1% of southbound traffic. It is a numbers game. And the house always wins. You might ask, does the government know? Yes, they have known for decades. In 2009, the US government tried to get clever. The ATF launched Operation Fast and Furious. The idea was straight out of a spy movie. Let the straw purchasers buy the illegal guns. Let them cross the border. Then track the guns via serial numbers to find the cartel leaders. It was a disaster. The ATF lost track of the weapons almost immediately. Over 2,000 military-grade firearms vanished into the Iron River. They only resurfaced when they were found next to dead bodies, including the body of U.S. Border Patrol agent Brian Terry. The government didn't just fail to stop the flow. They inadvertently became the supplier. Today, the violence in Mexico is not just a Mexican problem. It is a North American business model. As long as the gun laws in the U.S. remain loose, and as long as the demand for drugs in the U.S. remains high, the Iron River will continue to flow. Politicians will talk about walls. They will talk about enforcement. But you cannot stop a market force with a speech. The logic of the Iron River is cold, hard, metallic. It flows where the money is. And right now, business is good.